When we're doing a fly for the sternal pec, you're going to want to position yourself so that sternal pec is basically going to be 90 degrees from the plane of movement. So as this comes across, we want this part of his pec to be 90 degrees. For his range of motion here, he's going to come out and he's going to go and he's going to retract into that position. That's going to be as far as he goes, and then the line of motion is towards this point of his chest. So when he's pulling across, he's pulling here to here. You don't want to make the mistake of rolling in or pulling towards your lower chest or pulling towards your upper chest if the line of the machine goes straight across horizontally. We want to focus on pulling to the middle to where that sternal origin is. So if Austin reaches back and grabs here, first thing he's going to do is create some tension in his scapula stabilizer, so his rhomboids here. You don't need to overly retract them, just create some tension there, and then he's going to squeeze, pulling here to here. When you get there, this is a really good spot to focus on that short position for 1 to 2 seconds, but you don't want to protract. So if Austin were to push forward, now we're taking the weight off the pec, putting it onto the rear delts or to the front delts. If he goes back, his whole goal is bringing this across, never pushing the handles forward. We're not trying to bicep curl the two handles together. So if Austin were to bend his arms, okay, it doesn't matter how close the handles get. The only thing that matters is how close this gets to here. Go back out. So this distance is the only distance that matters. Sternal pec, it's going to have its greatest mechanics actually somewhere in the mid-range, so maybe about like 45 to 30 degrees. So if you have the ability to manipulate the resistance like you do with the prime, you would actually want to set something up to load it in the mid-range, so like on the one setting here. So that's going to be the best profile to maximally load the middle division, that sternal portion of the pec. When we're doing a fly for the costal pec, the fibers run this way. So they're actually going to be more responsible for resisting force that's going this way. So it's less important about squeezing in, and it's going to be more important about actually being good in this lengthened position. And then in this position, you're almost, without protracting, wanting to push this way just slightly. We're not trying to elevate this way, but since the pec goes in that line, we're trying to take and push that point to there, not roll the pec around. So for this position, most of you guys are going to have to use like a decline, so butt forward, chest back, so that the costal fibers are as close to being in this plane as they can be, so they match the pull of the machine. So if Austin reaches back, we should see his pec lines up here with this plane of movement. So he's going to initiate there, squeeze, and in this position, it's not overly squeezing in up here, it's squeezing down like so. If you have the option like you do on the Smart Cam, this is an exercise where you're going to be really strong in the lengthened, not very strong in the short position, so you would want to pick like the 3 or the lengthened loaded position and use that resistance profile for the costal pec.